Hello YouTube, this is Logan Film Studios with LEGO Transformers Optimus Prime. So here's Optimus Prime in his vehicle mode, and finally I have an actual Transformers character. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to make actual characters, so here's my first actual character. I think this actually came out really nice. This is like the fifth or sixth, I think, version of Optimus Prime that I have made because I wanted to get him just right, and he's still not perfect, but I'm really happy with the way it came out. So let's first look at the trailer. The trailer has these parts that come out here, like this, so they can stand it up when the trailer is not attached to Optimus Prime, and they can just fold in like this and fold down on these ratchet joints. And of course, like any other Optimus Prime trailer, it has to open up. So if you want to open it up, unlock this part right here, and then open up the back, and inside there's Optimus's little buddy roller. This roller design was kind of inspired by the one made by Boys with the Most Toys, but it's still kind of my own design. So just like the original G1 toy, Optimus's trailer opens up just by splitting the sides in half and folding this part up, and this piece back here that served a lock before now serves as like a little stand in the back to help this stand up. So as you can see, you can fold out the little medical robot, and I'll show you guys this again later with Optimus Prime in robot mode. You can also see inside the medical bay is Optimus's gun and Optimus's axe, which I will be showing off later. And also, I have these little compartments back here that can open up. I haven't really thought of anything to put in there yet, but I thought it was cool to include more storage space for smaller items like minifigure tools in Optimus's trailer. So this is Optimus Prime's truck mode, and I think this mode came out very well. As you can see, I used these really old window pieces for the windshield, and I see a lot of people using the newer window pieces. I personally think that these newer ones, these older ones, look a lot better because they're more square than the newer ones. The newer ones kind of have like these rounded edges on the windows that these do not. So that's why these ones, in my opinion, look a lot better. You'll also notice that I have filled in the gap between where the legs usually are. I see a lot of Optimus Prime designs that have a big gap between the legs in this area. So for my design, I wanted to make sure that I filled it in. Also, you'll see that I have the wheel wells, which is another thing that I don't see a lot of people putting on their Optimus Prime designs, and I really wanted to make sure that I got it on mine. The smokestacks here were just made from some flick fire missiles, which I thought was pretty cool. And you'll notice that the whole cab section, in the entire thing, you don't see any blue. A lot of Optimus Prime designs have things like the hands sticking out on the sides, or like the head showing in the back or on the top. And for this one, it's completely flush. It's all red and with the right stripe, and it looks really good. Especially the top. I love how this came out. It's completely flat, no studs or anything. And of course, this rolls because you can't have a good Optimus Prime that doesn't roll. This square in the center right here is where the trailer would attach. The square here would go in this opening. Then the whole thing can roll with the trailer. So now let's get to transformation. Now, Optimus Prime has probably the most complicated transformation out of all the Transformers I've shown off on my channel. That's because I wanted to get every little detail right in vehicle mode and in robot mode to make it look perfect. Because I've seen a lot of Optimus Prime designs in the past that have like some small things that that I don't like, so I wanted to make mine stand out amongst those. So first, what you want to do in transformation is probably push these parts around. Then you want to slide these. These are just 1x2 tiles, and since they don't have a tube in the center, they can slide on the stud. So you're going to want to slide those. And then we'll bring the feet up and bring these parts back down. Bring the heel spurs out and untab the feet from each other, which will split the legs. Then what you want to do is slide this hinge piece into this, and the anti-stud on this piece will actually attach into the lamp holder. Before you slide it, you want to make sure you rotate this piece to get it out of the way, just so there's more room. So then you want to slide this and tab it into the lamp holder and bring it up. Then rotate this piece back around and rotate this section around. Now we'll do it on the other side. We're going to rotate this section, then slide this section and tab it into place, and then you can rotate the legs down and rotate these clips around. Now we'll go up to the body. You're going to untab these back panels from these half pins and rotate these sections out. Then you want to rotate out the head and bring this part down, that slightly down, and this will allow clearance for something to happen later on. You then want to slide these panels out on these red bars and bring these down to give clearance to rotate these panels around. And then you can bring up the head. You're going to want to slide these panels back in. And now let's work on the arms. So we'll do this arm. Fold it out of the way. Rotate this, then rotate this part around, and rotate on there. There's a brick with a stud here where you rotate this part around, but then you want to rotate this panel around again. And this one is on this red jumper piece, which is attached to one of the tubes in here, which will allow it to rotate. And then you slide it on the bar, and there's one arm done. So now let's do the other arm. Rotate here, rotate here, slide on the bar, and rotate this part around, then rotate this part around. And there's the second arm. So now what you want to do is fold this part in, or fold it out a little bit so that you can slide these red pieces down. Just like the ones on the feet, these ones are the 1x2 tiles, and they can slide because they don't have a tube in the middle. Then you want to bring the entire lower body around on this pneumatic T that's inside here. And now that you've done that, you want to fold the back up and push these 1x2 tiles back in as far as they can go. Then fold these back panels down to create the backpack. Now what you want to do is fold this part up adjust the legs, bring down this head section, and fold up these parts. Rotate the head around, and there we have Optimus Prime in his robot mode. So here's Optimus Prime in his robot mode, and I think this thing looks amazing. I made sure to get all the right details and to give him the proper proportions to make him look really good. So I'll start with the details on the legs. You can see that he has these two tiles that represent the details that he has on his legs. And you can also see that the wheel wells are now gone, but when I had the wheel wells in robot mode, it actually made his legs look way too fat. So I made sure to make these panels fold in and the sides of the wheel wells to fold away so that it makes his legs look smaller. For the body, I made sure to include the yellow lights that are on the body of the actual character, which I know is really hard to get, so I'm really proud of how I did that. I was able to rotate around the waist so that the actual car bumper is on his back, and instead is a replacement section that works better as a waist and makes the proportions a lot better. I made sure to retain the white stripe that goes along his torso, as well as the grill, and I made sure to keep a little bit of red, just like he has on the actual design. For the arms, I have the blue hands, which are very important for Optimus Prime. I do think his arms are a little bit skinny, and that's something I'll improve upon on the next version, but I think they're still pretty good. For the head, you can see I used a design that's very common in a lot of mini Transformers. For example, Boys with the Most Toys Mini Optimus Prime uses this head style, but I changed it up a bit by using this 1x2 tile on the top of the head instead of a 1x1 tile, and that just goes on top of the gray section a little bit, and in my opinion that makes it look a lot better. One feature I really wanted to add to this was the opening chest with the Matrix of Leadership inside, and I think this worked really well because the gray handles of the Matrix of Leadership just kind of blend in with the other gray section to make it look like there's a gray area inside, but really when you open it up it reveals the orange center of the Matrix of Leadership, and I think that looks really cool. It does come out, but it's fairly difficult. There it is. So here's the Matrix of Leadership. I did the best I could at this scale. There wasn't really a better way to do it. I did see one version online that used the 1x1 tiles with the curves on one side, and I think that'll look a lot better, so I'll probably change that for my next version of Optimus Prime. But for now, I think this looks really good. A lot of Transformers these days have really big backpacks in order to get a lot of the details that they need to get in robot mode without having junk from the car mode. So it all basically ends up on their back, and I didn't really want to do this with this model. So for Optimus Prime, he's actually got a fairly contained backpack, and the actual design of Optimus Prime in the original cartoon did have a little bit of a backpack, so I feel that this is fairly accurate. It does get a little bit messy up here with all these plates, and maybe that can be improved upon, but for now I think it looks really good. Also, I have the wheels from the cab of the robot mode, or from the cab of the truck mode back here. I know sometimes people have them like fold to the back or fold inside the backpack to make them disappear, because in the design for Optimus Prime in the cartoon, these wheels disappeared. But as you guys probably know, that defies physics, and that wasn't really something I could do with my Optimus Prime at this scale. So now let's do articulation. For articulation, Optimus Prime's head rotates side to side, and it can look up, but it's on the hinge back here, and that kind of looks really weird. so maybe that shouldn't be used. He has a ball joint for the shoulder, and this hinge piece for the arm. He can do this. I don't know what you would do with this. You can make it look like he has a broken arm, I guess. But his arm can go out to the side, on both sides. His hand will rotate if you have all the panels aligned correctly. His hips have ball joint. His knee actually has kind of a double joint because he has this joint right here on the bar, and he also has the ball joint from this piece. So you can get a good range of motion with that, going back probably about this far, but also rotating and going in and out like this. The foot can go forward and back. Just make sure that you adjust this piece as you adjust the foot. And also the heel spur can go forward and back. And finally, the waist can kind of go up and down a little bit, but if you do it too much, it looks really weird because it breaks this section up. So that's it for articulation. Let's do some size comparisons. So here's Optimus Prime next to one of my previous Transformers, Gunslinger. You can see that he's a lot bigger, as I'm trying to make a lot of my Transformers bigger so I can include more detail. Also here, he is next to a minifigure, and you can see that he is a lot bigger, as the minifigure only really goes up to his knee. So as you previously saw, I have this gun for Optimus Prime. I modeled this after the actual gun he has in the cartoon, which is pretty iconic. So his gun can attach to his clip hand here, and he can hold it like so. And I also have the iconic orange energy axe that he uses in only the first episode of G1, but somehow it's still become super iconic, so I made it here. For this, you have to take off his hand, just like in the show. His hand kind of like folds in, and then a energy axe comes out of his arm. So there you go. And when Optimus isn't using his gun, you can actually attach it to the top of Roller, and that's why I added this piece right here, as it can slide into the handle of the gun. So now you can have Roller driving around shooting Optimus's gun. So that's it for LEGO Transformers Optimus Prime. I hope you guys enjoyed. And before I end the video, I'd like to thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. All of your comments and support and sharing my videos means a whole lot to me, so thank you guys so much. I originally intended this video to be part 2 for my 500 subscriber special, but you guys subscribed so fast I couldn't even make this video until I had 1,000 subscribers. So now this is my 1,000 subscriber special, because I know you guys wanted to see actual characters from the Transformers mythos. So here it is. I'll be making more G1 characters, as this one was really fun to make. So be on the lookout for those. Once again, thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, subscribing, and just watching my videos. It means a whole lot to me. And I'll see you guys next time with my next LEGO Transformer.